Hello there, my name is Mangrovejane and you are watching my Running a Bit Behind Vlogmas series. Today I have part 2 of the conversation between Mondrian and I, where we are hanging out at Christmas Lane and chatting about this and that. Our conversation, as always, is meandering and rambly, and we discuss shows at Theatre on the Hill, Second Life Heads, Bodies and Skins, and wonder for a moment what Mondrian would actually look like in Second Life human form. Because this is another long one, we're just going to dive right into this one and head on over to Christmas Lane to hang out with Mondrian. I'm totally buying this gazebo. You know, I just got a notice actually from Theatre on the Hill.
Oh yeah.
Damn it, where is that notice? Hang on. Theatre on the Hill group notices. There we go. They are doing a Second Life Boys Choir. It says Martin Tur's Second Life Boys Choir continue the Christmas season tour with all your famous Christmas carols. We'll get you in that Christmas spirit for sure. This time at Second Life's famous theatre on Friday, December 11th at 1 p.m. SLT. I guess that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, because it's Friday here today, so it would be tomorrow. Oh, I'd love to.
It's a nice theatre. Have you?
We should go to. I have been there. That's why I on the Theatre on the Hill, but I haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, duh, you get the notices.
Yeah, but I haven't been there for a while. I'd kind of love to go to the choir thing. I think 1 p.m. SLT though is like 5 a.m. here or something ridiculous. Which is why I never end up.
1 p.m. would be 10 p.m. where I am right now, so then...
Yeah, do the math. We're terrible at this.
No, but it would be 7 o'clock your time, I think, wouldn't it? Like, what time is it for you right now?
9:16 a.m.
Yeah, so it would be 7 a.m. your time, because right now it's 3:15 p.m. Second Life time. You said it was 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So it would be tomorrow at 7 a.m. your time.
Huh. We could do that.
I was actually, the first time I was at Theatre on the Hill, to my knowledge, was just actually last month sometime, because I found out about it through going to Mario to Hellstein's light shows, I think I mentioned, or that I did a snapshot video of, and I guess he has done performances at Theatre on the Hill as well. You said it's a boys' choir?
Yeah, it is.
Like boys' choir or men's choir? Or...
It says a boys' choir. Hang on. I'll look at the actual group because the notice is gone now.
I was going to say, how many kids can I actually get into Second Life to sing like that?
I don't know.
Or maybe it's something where they... Oh, actually, I wonder... I think I did see a poster about this.
Theatre on the Hill. Hang on.
I wonder if it is... Let me see if I can find them on the web.
Friends of Theatre on the Hill, there it is.
They have a website.
Theatre on the Hill?
That is not Theatre on the Hill in Second Life. Never mind.
Second Life Boys... I don't want to know. Second Life Boys Choir.
No, it's just like a theatre in some physical world place. I don't know where.
Yeah, it is the Second Life Boys Choir. I might show up anyway and do some recording, and if you're able to, come and join me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful theater, I think, and also it'd be interesting to see. Well, let me see what's like Theatre on the Hill.
Theatre on the Hill.
Theatre. It's always a little bit challenging when you search for things with Second Life on the web, because sometimes you will get a Second Life result or something that's related to Second Life itself, or sometimes it tends to be where someone wrote, the figure of speech where you say, oh, such and such has gotten a Second Life.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's not the kind of Second Life I mean.
Yeah.
So, not the same thing. Sorry, I keep You keep getting ahead of me.
This is a cute little cabin. I'm terrible. I should not look at houses and cabins and stuff like that.
From the person who just bought a new house.
I'm pretty sure my inventory is just filled with cabins. I think I've got more cabins and houses than I've got clothing.
But see, what I would love for you to be able to do, like, this, I mean, this is good in one way, you can say, because if you ever wind up with a full region of snow, then or even non-snow, then you'd be all set to, like, decorate it with lots of little cabins and houses, and you know, you could do a really cool. You could become a land baroness and start your own.
Well, remember when I did have a homestead sim for a while?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I went nuts buying houses at that time. Like, I just bought so many. I could not help it. It was just like, all the houses. I must have all of them. And Scarlet Creative, I think it is, and Apple Fall do the most incredible sales every year. Like, I've
heard good things about Apple Fall.
Oh, Apple Fall did a 50 linden sale this year for Black Friday. Everything in their store was 50 lindens. And I was just like, oh.
Did you buy everything?
Well, I have a lot of their stuff anyway from the last, because they always do an excellent sale, like always. It's amazing, their sales.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of their stuff, so I didn't need to buy a lot of it, but I did buy...
You're like, oh, I would buy this, but I already have it.
Yeah, I bought a lot of their new stuff. So, yeah, that's a thing.
I wonder what the most successful Second Life brand is, like, aside from Anshi Chung.
Good
like,
question.
Most,
I don't know.
It'd be interesting. I mean, there are
like
obviously
content
the ones
creator,
that are kind of more known. Yeah, like in terms of not like land, but like content creation. Probably one of the avatar makers, maybe, or the body.
Yeah,
makers.
maybe Maitreya.
Probably, yeah. Or I mean, even. Well, I'm just thinking of like brands that I know. Obviously, there are like a ton of brands that I don't know, but like the ones that are kind of more, or seem to be a little more known, like Fancy Decor or some of those.
Yeah, I mean, they used to do. That's a super cute little wings out there. They used to do those. I think Berry used to do the surveys every year about who had the. Or was it Cassie? It was one of them. What was the most popular? Sorry. What the most popular like head and body was?
I wonder. I can't remember if that was Strawberry or Cassie.
Yeah.
Might have been Cassie, actually.
Yeah. Such a good idea to find out what those are.
Yeah.
I mean, Maitreya wins hands down for bodies every time. Just because it's so easy. Yeah. You know, like it's easy to get stuff for it. That's the reason why I have a Maitreya body, because I got it from the beginning. Like it was the first body that I bought. I have to buy that bench because I just like it.
Is Bellezza, that's another body maker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always hear about like Bellezza Jake or some of those.
Yeah, I don't have the Bellezza one. I did try it, I believe, but
have you tried Slink?
I have tried Slink. Once again, I just find Maitreya easier.
See,
Yeah.
that's actually been an interesting.
Not trying to offend any Slink people out there, but I personally find Maitreya a little bit easier for me to use, and a little bit easier to get clothing.
Yeah, that's the thing with getting clothing. It is a shame that clothing has to be one of those things that, you know, it is so body specific sometimes.
Yeah.
I think there's been a big debate recently on the New World Notes blog, a lot, you know, in the comments and things, where I think they've talked about how Slink, I forget the name of the creator, but tries to really optimize the bodies as well as possible.
Yeah.
And whereas I guess Maitreya bodies,
she just does what she
from what I understand are a lot higher in terms of poly count and triangles and things like that. But of course, some of the comments in the posts on Hamlet's blog were kind of what you said, that while they would go with Slink because they were better optimized, they found the experience of wearing and using a Maitreya body a little easier. But I think some of that probably comes down to the fact that with Slink, I think some of the things that she does, I think it's a she, to make the body more optimized mean that it also then for dressing and other kinds of things or attachments is a little more complex to like switch things out.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to balance that.
And I mean heads too, like it's hard because when you're taking photographs a lot, you kind of need things that are easier to use like that because everything's so complicated anyway, Oh, there's an Abin Caladulus. Yeah, but even with the heads, like I was a die-hard Akaruka and GAEG fan there for a while. I kept my Akaruka head. Was it Akaruka or was it GAEG? Because I used the HUD for one on the other one, which is terrible. But what can you say? Yeah, I used.
Oh, did that actually work?
Yeah, it did. It was just that the animations were better. Alright, so I used the Akaruka head, but I used the GAEG HUD for animations.
HUD, okay.
Yeah, just because the animations were better, but they did work the same.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Who is Lelutka?
Lelutka? I tried their heads. I don't love the look of them. It's the lips that kind of get me. They're really pouty, which is if that's the look,
there tends to be a certain look to that.
Yeah, if that's the look you're going for, and it's kind of really young looking, I find Lelutka, which is great. Like if that's the look you're going for, you go for gold. However, that wasn't the look that I wanted. I've just moved to Catwa's HD Pro.
Yeah, Catwa's one I know.
It's the first one I've gotten in about 2 years, and I love it.
Sorry.
I love it. I can't express how much I love the HD Pro head.
See, sometimes I hear like some of these brands, and I think, is that the name of one of their models, or is it the name of the brand? So like, because of course the way they name things. So like Cat was a brand, not a specific type of their head. So
Cat was the brand. HD Pro is the type of head, like specific head that I am using at the moment. But and it's their latest kind of offering. It's a little bit more complicated. It's BOM ready. It's BOM full stop. Yeah. I just really like it. It was a learning curve, like everything is a learning curve. Let me just
Second Life is one long learning curve.
Second Life is one long learning curve. And
but it never stops because of course, as you saw now with EAP and the new Firestorm viewer and all the UI changes, then the learning curve just got a little bit more like when you think you've reached the top of the hill, it keeps on going up.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first new head I've bought in pretty much forever. Don't move away. I'm trying to get us both in the same shot.
Oh, whoops.
Just stand still and let me deal with the camera stuff.
I wonder. I still, by the way, speaking of bodies and skins and heads, I still kind of love that only in Second Life could you say like, oh, whose body are you wearing or whose skin are you wearing?
What head are you wearing?
Like, whose head are you wearing? And if you said that in the physical world, then people would be like,
pardon?
That sounds slightly
odd.
Macabre. Yeah, it'd be a Halloween thing. Like, but in Second Life, it's like perfectly normal. Like, oh, I detached my hands for another pair. I switched up my head because I liked,
I outfit this
better. Yeah, God.
Yeah. I know.
I kind of am very... Do you know the Wastelands estate?
Yeah.
I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Neobokrug Elitis, or Elitis, I think it's Elitis, the owner and the kind of head person of... I'm on the Wastelands Discord server, and he actually posted before and after picture. Like, he kept more or less the same look of Avatar, but he was posting pictures because he just recently, I think over the past week, switched to a mesh body. And for all these years he'd had a system body, I think. And so now he's able to do, he still has like kind of the same head and other attachments, but it kind of made me think, like, oh, I wonder if at some point I should try to switch, not my avatar in terms of the head or tail necessarily, but if I can, like, what it would be like if I tried to get a mesh body, or like a new non-system body.
Yeah. I wonder what that would be like with you too, because I'm so used to you being this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Well,
know.
it'd be like if I could get a body where, like, I just, obviously I could just use the same head with it on top of whatever.
Furry bodies have come a long way.
They have. The only thing is, like when I at Luskwood, which is where I got this body, obviously, this avatar, not the body itself actually, but the avatar attachments years and years and years and years ago. They have created updated versions of some of their species that they sold, way back when. So there are like mesh versions of some of them, not this particular one yet. So there are mesh foxes out there where I wouldn't have this primy tail and the head, but I would want something that looked as close to this as possible. But it's a little bit, it's one of those things where I'm like, God, I can't even.
You know what would be super bizarre, actually, is you as human.
I can't, and for some reason it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I can't imagine you as human in Second Life.
No, I mean, even
I would find that bizarre.
No, I don't even have like a good human avatar. Like, if for regions that are like no furries allowed, I'm just like I don't have a good human avatar set up that I can actually go in with and still feel, I mean, actually, if you want to, you don't have to leave this in the video. It's kind of creepy, and I don't know if I want people to see me without my head.
Oh no! Oh no! Put your head back on.
I did. It's like going. At furry conventions, they literally have furry conventions. Headless lounges, what they call headless lounges, because for people who are in fursuits and it gets hot in there, then there's these lounges in the hotels or wherever they have the conventions where only people in fursuits or their handlers can kind of go in.
Yeah.
And then, there's water bottles in there and it's air conditioned. You can take your head off for a while and cool down, and no one else is allowed in there because it's, again, specifically a place for people to feel like they can take the head off, cool down in private. And it's kind of like, for me, like, I don't generally take the head off because it's like, then you see what's underneath and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine being human in Second Life, but it's also hard for me to imagine changing from this avatar even to a newer furry avatar unless it was really...
Yeah.
I don't know. Really
There's something to be said for, like the avatar attachment thing as well. You kind of just do get really attached to your avatar and the way that you in particular look, which is why I change heads so infrequently. And it's also why, I mean, the body is what it is. I don't change my shape very often either, just because I just don't. My shape, I spend ages making my shape when I first get the body, and it just stays there.
So here's a question then. So, because I should at some point honestly buy, like, maybe the cheapest but still full-featured body I can find, a new mesh body, just to kind of play around with it. But I was going to say, so you buy the body, but then the shape itself is still technically something you can kind of
you just
modify,
do it yourself.
like,
I mean, you can buy a shape, But
Okay.
I just do my own. Just because I like to customize it so much to what I want it to be. And, I mean, yeah, I've even made myself littler from what I used to be.
Yeah.
This shape is smaller now than what I was. I just think that, I mean, you can buy shapes, but you can just as easily make
Yeah.
it. It's easy to make your own shape.
So the body you're buying, I mean, it comes with like.
It does
as you
come
buy
with the
it, it's like
shape.
sort of like a default shape.
Yeah, it does come with the default shape, and then I just customize it from
adjust
there.
it.
I just edit it using the editing tools, the in-game editing tools. So
You can you actually edit your shape even with a newer mesh body using the in-world, like the default like edit appearance sliders.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But
I didn't know it was actually that. Yeah.
But certain bodies will only slide so far, and when you slide certain bodies too far, it looks weird. Like,
I think I've seen some people that have tried that.
yeah, the Maitreya butt is always thick, like with 3 C's. It's always a chunky butt. No matter how far you slide that in, you're never going to get a flat ass. And when you slide the boobs right down, it looks really weird on the body. Like, it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Because of the textures, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, I'm wearing a skin as well. So the skin textures kind of go a bit weird when you slide it too far in.
Too far.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I'm amazed
that you have
that
to
anyone
watch
ever
too.
actually manages to like. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of why you've got to, like Slink, the male Slink bodies, for instance, are a thinner kind of version than the Giannis, than the signatures.
Okay.
They're a much slimmer version, like more of a swimmer's body than a bodybuilder's body.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's easier to slide down to a thinner version than it is to slide down
versus like
the
bigger
Giannis, the signatures, for instance. And it's the same with women bodies as well. You get ones that are really like busty, kind of, they're meant to be thicker bodies than other ones that are meant to be thinner bodies as well. So it just depends on what you want. Like the difference between like an adult avatar and a teen avatar as well.
Yeah.
I did try the tween body for a while because I was going to make a teenager avatar for a while. And
Who's?
a tween body.
Oh, is that a brand?
I'm not sure.
Or-
It might be. But
I
it's
know- I
kind
was
of
gonna
like
say,
that.
Loki makes some good
Yeah.
kid/teen avatars.
Yeah, because I was going to make like an adolescent kind of avatar there for a while and just play around with that, but that didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. And once again, hard to find clothing and stuff for those bodies, like just difficult to find. So
Yeah.
that didn't go ahead. Oh. But
I like that there is such variety. It's a shame that, like I said, the clothing is kind of, becomes an issue then with different bodies. Like if it weren't for that, I think it would probably be less of an issue because then it's like, okay, wear whatever body you want. You can still wear whatever you want. Like,
yeah.
in terms of clothing, if that were the case.
But I mean, they've got to. I guess the body makers really have to talk to clothing makers and work out their collaborations more.
Yeah.
Like face makers talk to skin makers more, I think, than body makers talk to clothing makers.
The clothing makers.
We should wrap this up around about here.
Okay. Is there anything else, Groves, that you would like me to say or to give a shout out to? Would you like me to say how amazing you are? Groves
Of course.
is absolutely amazing, everyone. You should all watch her videos, and you should all. I don't think she sells anything.
Like
yet,
and subscribe.
But when
No.
she does, like and subscribe. Punch the bell for notifications. Let me think what else I can add to the spiel.
And so that is where we're going to leave this video, even though after we said goodbye, the recording went on for another 20 minutes. And then even after I stopped recording, we continued chatting for another hour before I sent Mondrian to bed. I'm glad I was able to keep this memory of Mondrian and I in a vlog because, as I said last video, this is pretty true to who we are as people. It's always easy and comfortable. I don't feel any pressure to be anyone or anything other than who I am, and it's genuinely peaceful to be hanging out with someone who gets and accepts who you are, just as you are. So that is all from me in this video. Next video is going to be quite a bit shorter and a very different format again as we take a horse ride around Luan's winter world.